Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I kind of want to talk about something that a lot of high-level investors think about and something I think about when I'm purchasing cards and boxes and things like that on the market. And that kind of concept is basically for a card, let's say something like the Luffy manga from EBO2, the Gear 2 Luffy manga here. For this card to double, which last sale was 3,000, this has to become a $6,000 card. So this has to gain an additional $3,000 on top of this $3,000 already, which of course could happen. But when you start to get into these expensive cards, these expensive boxes, some of those gains and the ROIs year after year kind of depreciate. It's not the same percentage. You're not seeing the same amount of gains that you do with lower end cards. So these are kind of the reasons why I stay away from high end cards and super high end boxes and things, because it's better to put that money into something that has more potential to grow. For example, this Luffy here, Dallas Day, you could get this for $430 right now in the market. This has already been proven to be $638. So for this to double, it would only need to get to 800. The likelihood of this being over $1,000 one day, I think, is very high. It only came out in Dallas Day in Luffy 2025. So see, this is an example of a card that I would prefer to buy over a manga. And then even more, when you're getting this manga in a PSA 10, then it has even more room that it's harder for it to grow. It's harder to get those percentage gains the higher things go up, just because the buyer pool shrinks and shrinks at every price point. There's so many people that can buy a $1,000 card versus so many people who can buy a $10,000 card. There's way less people who can buy and afford a $10,000 card, but maybe someone could afford this Dallas Day at $1,000 rather than $10,000. Another option I look at is this Luffy from the second anniversary. This is a $300 card. This was going for $450. So this, again, if this goes to 1,000, it'll be about a 3x. So here's one that could go 3x, very likely in my opinion. I think this could be a $1,000 card one day. It's second anniversary set Luffy with all the Straw Hats. While this manga would have to go to 9,000, which of course it could happen. But I like these odds better, and not only that, the risk is lower because you're not spending as much. So another good thing I think would be to pick up is a Luffy PSA magazine. This would go to 230. This is at 235 right now. For this to 5x, it could be $1,000 as well, and then it'd be 5x. And then here we go, a Gear 2, the exact same artwork. And I actually prefer this one more than the actual manga itself. And this you can pick up for $180. This was going for $304. Now it's going for $180. There's going to be a way larger buyer pool for these lower end cars or these cheaper, more affordable cards rather than thousands and tens of thousands of dollar cards. That's kind of the main point of this. Another card you could get is this Luffy for $134. This is from OPO1, Romance Dawn. And personally, I like this better than basically every single manga that exists. I know that's my own personal preference, but still, 135 for if this 10x, it would go to $1,000. So, if it went to 1,000. Next up, we have this Luffy for 45. Again, I just think these cards have so much potential, and even if it goes to 500, that's a 10x. If it goes to 120, that's a 3x, and your risk is way lower on these price points. Another one, this Luffy Treasure Booster. This was at $28. It 5x'd. Now you can get it for 1/5 of the price it was in January. So the likelihood of this going to 15,000 quicker than this goes to back to $30, it's way more likely this is going to go back to $30 than that going to 15,000. And that's why if you buy many copies of these, you can get those gains at a lower price point. Now it'll be harder to sell because you have way more copies, but again, if this is just a better ROI in my opinion of what could be. Again, here's another Luffy for $3. Was at 9, so this 3x. Now it's 1/3 of the price. Now it's down to $3. So again, there's so many opportunities for returns on these things. Next up, we have a Zoro. So here's another example. This is last sold like $2,750. It's around $2,500, we'll say now. Meanwhile, you can get this Dallas Day for $244. So a tenth of the price with a lot of potential as well. You have this Zoro from OPL1, $158. The Zoro alternate art from OPO6 going for $87. So these are some of the cards that I like, that I'm picking up, that I think could have a lot of potential for growth because the artwork is just insane. I mean, I like all these artworks better than the mangas. I don't know how many people agree with that, but again, these cards are more common, so it makes sense that they're cheaper. But as we know, things get scarcer and scarcer over time. People are putting this in collections. People are grading them. There's also a grading play with these cards, so that gives it another factor to multiple. Next up, I have this Zoro Joro. I have no idea how this is $20. It's from OPO5, and it's a sick looking artwork. Was $32. I mean, for this, if this went to $100, that's a 5x return. Does this have potential to go to 100? I think so. I think the artwork definitely deserves it. It's from an expensive set, so OPO 5. So yeah, these are things that I look at. These are things that I would rather put my money in, to be honest. And you can get multiple copies of these. And at some point, you could have multiple copies of these, and if they do go to 100, you can trade them into other things. It's easier to kind of move them around because you have multiple copies, and you can trade one and still have one for your own collection. So I like that aspect of it as well. Next, we have the Zoro gift collection for 18, another Zoro starter deck for 16, and then the Zoro illustration box for 250. Again, if this went to $20, that would be a 10x. So, or 25 technically, that would be a 10x. So these are things that I look at. These are things that I'm like, yeah, that seems like a good buying opportunity. Here's the Nami going for 2,200. Last sale for like 2,000. Actually 2,000 as of yesterday. So a very recent sale. And here's an example. I like this artwork way better than this manga, Nami manga. And I actually do like this Nami manga, but I think this one just looks way better. It's more detailed in my opinion. It looks cooler. And it's a fraction of the price from OPO1. So this is a card where I'm like, yeah, am I picking up this manga? No way. I think this has way more potential. If this went to $1,000, it would like 3x. So yeah, this would have to go to 6,000 or 6,600, something like that. Here's another one, a Nami for $38. Another Nami, which I think is absolutely great, $24. This was at $40. So yeah. Next up, we got the Boa manga. This is going for $1,900. Last sale at $2,200, $2,100-ish. And you can pick up this Boa. Exclusive PSA promo was going for $165. Now it's at $110. These cards just... Some of these promos are super undervalued in my opinion. We have this Boa from PRBO1. Was going for $45. Now it's around $33. The Boa from the gift collection was going for $47. Now it's going for $31. So these are the cards that I just think have a lot of room for potential, and I just see so much upside in them. Boa illustration box promo, again, I can't get enough of these promos because I've seen what's happened in Pokemon, and promos just get so undervalued for so long, and they just have so much potential to get over that $100, $500, $1,000 mark even sometimes for the best promos. Next, we have a Boa box topper. Was at 46. Now it's at 24. Another Boa. So many options for Boa. I feel like she has so many underrated cards. Was going for 40. Now it's going for around 21 from the best selection. And we have the Boa from OP13. Was going for 48. Now it's around $20. Lastly, I'll take a look at the Shanks card. But really, you can do this for any of the mangas. Any mangas you like. Any characters you like. I promise their manga will be more expensive than some of these lower rated, cheaper cards that have potential to grow as well and potential to outscale the ROI on these mangas. So yeah, next we have the Shanks SP was $263, now going for around $213. Another PSA promo. I like all these exclusive promos because it's just super unlikely they'll ever reprint it, and it will become scarcer and scarcer over time. For sure, was at 95, now it's around 77. This is probably the best Shanks one in my opinion. If I was picking up a Shanks, this is the one I would get. $63. Now I'm going for 31. It's the second anniversary set. He's fighting here. It's a super cool card. One of Shanks' best cards, and it's for like $30. Next, we have the Shanks alternate art. Was going for around 30. Now it's around 22. Super nice artwork on that. The Shanks from OPO9, which I feel like no one really mentions. I feel like it kind of is going under people's radar. Was $31. Now it's around 20. Maybe people don't like the background, but it's a super cool Shanks card from OPO9. And lastly, I have the Shanks from OP13. Was going for around 19. Now it's going for around $8. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me guys if you agree with my theory. Ultimately, it is more difficult to pick these because you have to pick the cards that people will like. But you can kind of get multiple copies. They're much more affordable. You can spread out which ones you're picking up. and then you could have the potential to reap the benefits. And then if you go all in on something and you call it right, you could see huge gains. The gains on these cards, I feel like, will always outweigh some of the most expensive cards if you pick the right one. So yeah, let me know which cards I didn't include that you think is undervalued, that has a lot of potential, and hope you guys liked the video, and I'm out.